A very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We're back, center table action. We bring you a very, very entertaining clash. I'm sure I say entertaining in bold letters. You are going to enjoy yourselves. This is a game to watch, and this game is right between the computer and the sharpshooter. Those are their AKs. But real name, Simon Lubulwa. Real name, Kasozi Joseph. All of these players are seeded. One is seed number 1, the other is seed number 6, and they are going to be clashing right here in front of your eyes. Now, this action, of course, is on Facebook and Twitter, and YouTube in the official channels of Pool Association of Uganda. So, in case you're wondering if you can watch, you can actually watch 2 games at the same time. 2 games are going on YouTube, Pool Association of Uganda channel. We have this one on center table between Simon Lubulwa and Kasozi Joseph. The other one is between Mobidu Dan and Moses Mofia, but I think which just ended. Now let's concentrate on this very, very entertaining clash. Simon Lubulwa, does he need any introduction? In the year 2011, I remember he came as an 18-year-old boy. He came to Lugogo for the very, very first time to play his national open debut. He was knocked out by Fred Namanya Bonde, and I remember that very, very vividly, that this boy garnered a lot of support because no one had seen young boys, especially during that time, play the kind of pool Simon was displaying on the day. So Simon Lubulwa, he was a revelation then. 2012 followed suit, joined the Mambule Pool Club, later on joined Catalina Pool Club, and then of course at some point, because he was part of Spice, the academy, he came back in Ntinda to play for the manager Bob Trubish under the names of Hot Pool Pool Club. Simon Lubulwa later on moved from Hot Pool Pool Club, joined Scrap Buyers, and when, of course, the teams went into COVID, there was that tournament that, the league that came after COVID. Most of the players moved up country to join Mbale Pool Club, but Simon still remained loyal with Scrap Buyers, and up to this very day, he was with Scrap Buyers until his friend called Sejemba Ibra, a former nemesis, invited him to join Roxbury Pool Club. So it means Simon Lubulwa, the computer, is playing with his teammate in the same team of Roxbury Pool Club. I already told you about Kasozi, seed number 1 of Uganda, and Kasozi is actually showing it to you on his t-shirt. He has his AKA and his seeding position on the back of his t-shirt. This is the very, very first game. Like I told you, the guys are very aware over time. That's why none of them wants to waste their opportunity. So you might find that we know them as offensive players, but because of the nature of play here, that the time is very, very little, and also the games are not as many, some of the players are going to opt to change their style of play, and instead of offense, maybe go a little bit of technical, tactical. Simon is playing red, and Joseph is playing yellow. All names from the Bible. Joseph was the father of Jesus, and Simon was one of the disciples. Seed number 1 Uganda, Kasozi Joseph. The defending champion of this very, very tournament was Habib Seboguzi. He won this tournament, of course, in all the cameras and lights of Cars Bar and Lounge in Kansanga. He played Kasozi himself, the one you're watching now, on the final. Kasozi lost that final. Kasozi is now the losing finalist defender of the very tournament we're talking about. So he's here maybe to show you that he was not on the final by mistake, and is playing against a formidable Simon Lubulwa, but his teammate in Roxbury Pool Club, Chiwanga. That head that you're seeing popping out on the camera is for Jondo Emisero. He's trying to hide it, but somehow it's finding its way into our camera. That's Bob Trubish. looking for where to sit, I think. The chairman of the Association of Uganda, All Association of Uganda. Lubulwa is silent killer, also a very, very reserved lad. He doesn't talk a lot, but is one of the most skillful that we have in the 256. Combination shot, lovely from Simon. Looking for game number 1, Simon Lubulwa. Also his opponent, Kasozi Joseph, looking for game number 1. I will also say that Simon Lubulwa last year went to Lugogo after playing qualifiers. He was not a seeded player last year, so he had to work his way into the seeding 8. He played his qualifiers from Townsend Bar in Tinda, and he won that regional, went to Lugogo. He was knocked out by Sejemba Ibra in penalties. Still 0-0 here. And also, of course, Kasozi Joseph was in Lugogo last year. He was knocked out by Bwanika Mutomansul, who was the eventual winner, and that was in the quarterfinals. He beat him so badly. Kasozi only won 1 game, but that did not stop him from becoming seed number 1 of Uganda. So there's seeding points that they are playing for here. Remember, it is money, 3 million Uganda shillings, 1.5 for the first runner-up, 800,000 shillings for third position, and for the ladies, 1.5 for the eventual winner, and 800,000 shillings for the second. But everyone who reaches quarterfinals is assured of the 100,000. Look at that target. Very good on the rail, Simon. He has a very lazy gait, and even in the way he executes, almost boneless, but very effective. Displaces the ball, takes it actually even safer up, and now he only has 3 reds to conquer. First game, first frame. Simon Lubulwa, the computer, looking for game number 1. He decides to wait. Well, Kasozi tried to slice the ball. A lot of power, it was too much, and cue ball actually went and potted Simon Lubulwa's red down, so he has 2 shots. And Simon has all the options. He could probably opt to, can you imagine? This is how he's going to play his 2 shots. Has decided to go for, I didn't even see that coming. These guys have too much skill now. He actually set the ball on the rail with his very own ball that was on the center, and now he decides to go all the way down. Center has now become the corner pocket. So Simon, 1 ball to the opposite direction and black to the other. They have mastered the table, so it's no issue about, we're having problems with the jaws and the pockets. Looks like this should be able to go in. Simon draws first blood here, ladies and gentlemen. Lubulwa Simon, the computer 1, aka the sharpshooter Kasozi 0. Rest to 4. Grafton Amstavan, Fort Portal. It's now Lubulwa Simon to break. Lubulwa Simon is also yet to win one of these tournaments. He hasn't won the Grand Open. He hasn't won the Grand Finale. Or he hasn't yet won the National Open. He hasn't won the Paul King and Queen. And for him, he's still a debutant. So we want to find out if Simon can maybe break all the odds and win his first title of the Grand Open. Chooses yellow. Chance for Kasozi Joseph on the reds. But apart from that, we're not saying that Simon has never won. Simon has actually won the Kampala Open before for the Polo Association of Uganda. He has won several tournaments that have been organized privately that are not for the Polo Association of Uganda. But these very, very thematically organized tournaments for the calendar year of Polo Association of Uganda, Simon hasn't won any one of them, especially in the recent days or in the recent years. But Kasozi now has opened up his balls really well. Gives a chance to Simon Lubulwa. Misjudged, I think, the distance and the angle, and his ball cannot off his other yellows, so now Simon has a chance to come back on table. Lubulwa Simon, a player based in Ntinda. Just like I was talking about Jerome Navasa, Simon Lubulwa also has his own venue, and that's also a very, very good initiative. Simon has his own venue called Ultimate Pool Club. It's actually a club, and he has his own members. They are ultimate. They are called Ultimates. Ultimate Pool Family. Big up to them. I know they're watching wherever they are. They always follow, of course, and make sure they support their brother, whether it is virtually or individually. Unfortunately, because Fort Portal is very, very far, he couldn't come with his army. But I know they are watching this game and following, so I'm going to say hi and a big shout out to Brian, who is one of the Chikiri commander of that very family. I'm sure he's laughing wherever he is. Brayo. And Simon Lubulwa plays for Roxbury Pool Club. So does his opponent, Kasozi Joseph. Roxbury Pool Club, based in Chiwanga, off the bend of Namamve. Simon is leading here 1-0. The last time Simon was on a final, the Polo Association of Uganda, was in Lugogo, and that was him against Bwanika Muto Mansul in 2018. In the most recent times, the PAU tournaments, he has not been coming this close, and if he goes to the last 8, well, the chances are he can still make it to the top 4. So let's see what Simon can actually bring out here. But so far so good. Things are going well for Simon Lubulwa. He also has a very loose grip. Opens up the ball very, very well. Now he has clear sight of both of his reds. One that goes in the corner pocket and one probably also going in the same. A misjudge of that drawback, and now Simon has snookered himself. I'm sure wherever Kasozi is seated, he has a bit of breath and sigh. Okay, Simon came out of the angle, didn't maybe set his ball, but at least he didn't foul. Back in play is Kasozi Joseph, looking for his first game. And they have time running, of course. About 15 more minutes remaining. Actually, not even 15 only, about 17 or 18 minutes remaining. Sharpshooter, running the table now. Kasozi Joseph, seed number 1 of Uganda. Dictating the pace here. Seed number 1 Uganda, ladies and gentlemen. Kasozi on the black. Let's give you another angle here. Sharpshooter equalizes. It's 1 Kasozi Joseph, 1 Simon Lubulwa. Remember, the games are race to 4. What are they fighting for? Ladies and gentlemen, the players here are fighting for money. 3 million shillings. Do you know what it means for you to pay 30,000 and then you win 3 million shillings in 2 days? But again, these two players didn't even pay anything. They didn't pay any registration money because they're seeded players, so they come wild card entry. And now, one of them will eliminate the other, and one of them will put more hope on his name for the money. Will it be Simon? Will it be Kasozi? But 1-1 as it stands here in Fort Portal for the Pool Association of Uganda's Grand Open. DMS is my name. You could follow the Pool Association of Uganda on Facebook, follow them on YouTube, follow Pool Association of Uganda on X, follow them on TikTok, and these games, 2 games are always live. That's of course on our official YouTube channel, the Pool Association of Uganda. Now, in case you have people who want to watch or who are asking so many questions, who has gone through, who has been beaten, please, you could enjoy with your smart gadget. If you have a data, just log on to www.qscore.com. That's www.qscore.com, and find out for yourself results, fixtures. Just look for the Pool Association of Uganda and all these details will be there for you. Simon Lubulwa on the yellows.
We're going to delay a bit. We're sorry for the inconveniences.
As it stands, that's the current situation there on table between Simon Lubulwa and Kasozi Joseph. In that very angle, you can see that the person playing red, the balls actually are well placed near the pockets. And that person is Kasozi Joseph. Simon takes a very hard shot, pots, and he still has a hurdle with the ball that is actually shadowed here on the side pocket by Kasozi's red balls. But from the other side, I don't know if someone can produce what they call ekisumuluzo. In Uganda, or Uganda, they call them ebisumuluzo. That simply means how we can actually put on the other side and in return also come and open up on the other side. You cannot believe this. You cannot believe this. Now, the noise that you're hearing in this place is not because of the Simon Lubulwa game. There is a lady who has actually become the Trojan horse. The lady is called Rosette Chidabo. Her name is Rosette Chidabo. She plays for Bob Malay Upper Volta. She knocked out earlier on Amina Faith Nganda. She has now currently knocked out Sharon Mirembe. And people are applauding her. She's a player, same team as Sharon Mirembe. And congratulations to her, of course. She has now gone to the next round. And she's actually a semi-finalist, a quarter-finalist already. Look at this shot. Simon squeezed his yellow ball there, of course, on the reds, and now has an angle here to put the reds. If you can see, he can actually slice it. Simon pots. Simon in cruise control. Lubulwa Simon in cruise control right here, leading Kasozi Joseph 2-1. But before that shot, wow, what a lovely set of skills that Simon displayed there before he potted the black. Congratulations to that lady called Chidabo Rose. A very unpredictable tournament it is, and ladies and gentlemen, this is what we came for. The drama, the tears, the joy, the noise, it's all up in here at Grafton Arms Tavern in Fort Portal. Pool Association of Uganda's Grand Open. So also reminding you that on YouTube, under the name Pool Association of Uganda, please go ahead and like, please go ahead and share, please go ahead and ring the button, the bell. That bell, the purpose is for you to always get updates. Whenever there's a live game, you'll always get an official update on your smart gadget. The Pool Association of Uganda is live, and so you can actually find out all the activity that goes on all throughout the year 2025 is where we are, and this is the Grand Open. Right, so there are going to be two games for you. One is the one on center table between Kasozi and Lubulwa Simon. And the other game is going to be the girls' game between Rukia Naiga and Jovia Nachimoli. The meetings between these two, that's between Simon Lubulwa and Kasozi Joseph, Simon has actually won the majority. There's when they met in Logogo. Twice they have met in Logogo, and Simon knocked out Kasozi Joseph. Twice they met in Logogo National Open. They have also met before on other privately organized tournaments, but Simon has the majority, the lion's share. Tonight, we're here to find out if he can replicate that same history against Kasozi here on center table. Simon on the reds. Let me give you another bit of angle here. Can he see? I doubt it, if you can actually fully see that center. Maybe he will play a bit of spin. He could see. And what about now? What's the plan for this red for Simon Lubulwa? From my angle, I can see that Simon can choose to take a slice in center, because if he tries to go down where the black is, he's going to go in center. He took a double, didn't get it in, but he didn't foul, so he's safe. However, it was a very hard shot. The games have started here between Jovia Nachimoli and Naiga Rukia. These girls are all heading to, they're already in the money bracket. Rukia is already 100,000 shillings richer, and so is Jovia. Whoever is winning there is probably going to be going into the semifinals. And as just an update for the ladies, the semi-final is already set. Julie Namuhanga is going to play the trailblazer in this tournament. The dark horse who has been Rosette Chirabo. Motesi Rashida is currently waiting for the winner between Jovia Nachimoli and her sister Rukia Naiga. So the ladies are already set to the semi-finals. There's only one game they're waiting for between Jovia and Rukia. Back on center table action, Simon has been snookered. Simon's playing in red. But the time remaining for that very game, I'm not very certain. But I know they don't have more than 15 minutes. Simon on an angle. Foul. Kasozi advantage. The dress code does not change. The dress code remains the same. Polo t-shirt and black trouser from yesterday. But the only exception was that you could choose black, not white. Because you've seen some of the players actually have been donning black, like Jovia. It says black or white t-shirt, polo t-shirt, and a black trouser, black shoes. Kasozi is snookering Simon Lubulwa. Every single shot. But remember, they're also playing against time, so I don't know if Kasozi is very aware of that. Probably looking for an advantage to run the table and maybe equalize things here. But Simon's leading 2-1. The sharpshooter against the computer. Computer will have to produce some software here since he's familiar with the gadgets.
Against Bob Marley. The other semi-final, Motes Rashida is waiting for the winner between
Wow.
and Ethiopia National.
What a wow. Exquisitely played by Simon. Comes out of a very tight angle, doesn't foul, and gives himself a lifeline. Now Kasozi Joseph on the yellows. Kasozi ports, doesn't get very good quite, but he can work with that. The men are already heading into the quarterfinals. Also 100,000 shillings is assured. That for all men who actually go into the last 8. And just a reminder, the ultimate prize, 3 million shillings for the men. It's a 4-in-1 tournament. It's a Pole Association of Uganda tournament. It's a 4-in-1 tournament. Remember, it is the very, very first tournament opening the year 2025. That's why it's called the Grand Open. Men 3 million shillings, women 1.5. The seniors or masters 700,000 and the juniors 700,000 for the ultimate winners. Now here's Kasozi Joseph. We need to actually check in on the time remaining for that very, very game. I'm not so sure. So he takes a very hard slice. He has a bit of percentage on this game. He decides to go for a snooker, but remember, coming out of this angle is not very hard for Simon. Coming out of this angle is not very hard for Simon, but he chooses the 2 cushion. Plays well. Sharpshooter. Sharpshooter is just about to play those shots that correlate with his name. And we'll see if he can actually play, get the weight for the next ball here. Let's see. Takes a hard shot. Looked ill prepared. It looked like he was in a hurry to do that. I don't know if they have told him. I don't know if anyone told him actually that it's running out of time. But that was a very hurried shot. Back to Mr. Computer. Simple shot here. Plays the red comfortably in the right pocket. Black goes in the opposite direction. I actually cannot believe. Very simple shot to execute. Play it simple. Play the black in the opposite direction. Or if you wanted what he wanted, he would have been a little bit more careful. Just go behind the black. But now, Simon has spotted both the white and the black, and you know that doesn't count, so he loses that frame. But why did he put himself in such a position, in such a situation, for no reason? Plain. There's nothing wrong with you playing normal, even if we know that you have skill and you can play all the suave, lovely skill spin shots. Simon, all he needed was to play a simple shot. And now he has lost that game. It cost him that game. Kasozi equalizes. You can imagine the difference between a 3-1 lead and a 2-2 score. Rest to 4. Simon Lubulwa 2, Kasozi Joseph 2. Simon Lubulwa, Computer 2, Kasozi Joseph, the Sharpshooter 2.
Scorpion chocks are available. Please feel free to approach me.
You can see Simon Lubulwa's t-shirt with the embroidery behind of Ultimate Pool Arena. That's the arena he runs or he owns, which is actually in Ntinda. Very impressive initiative for Simon, who is a very, respected name in the fraternity of pool here in Uganda. So it's good to know that these guys are actually using some of their resources to do businesses that are in the name of the sport, in the passion, in the game that they love. Kasozi Joseph, our store, was also running one of those venues. Could have been the one in Chibuye, which is called Amigos. I don't know if he still runs that venue, but I was told he was actually in charge of it at some point. It's a good thing to see these guys actually living by what they actually love. But as it stands, deadlocked at 2-2, Simon Lubulwa 2, Kasozi Joseph 2. Lubulwa takes a very good shot there. Current situation of red and the yellow. Could probably be thinking of going to center. Plays the center very, very well. What's his next target? Simon Lubulwa. They are all needing 2 games. And remember, we are not watching their clock because they started, of course, in their own time. So I will need to communicate to one of the umpires to find out how much time these guys are remaining with, but I'm not so sure right now. I'm sure that time is less than 10 minutes. Still Lubulwa Simon on the run. One red after another. Simon Lubulwa with another red. Isn't that a very reckless white? Cue ball must have moved very, very far from what Simon wanted. He has target. Could choose to go for center on this ball that's looking right on my side. I think it will be the much easier option for the ball that is looking down on the rail. What kind of white will he get after? Let's watch. Okay. Chooses not to port. Parks it just right down below in obstruction of Kasozi's red yellow. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Pool Association of Uganda's Grand Open. We're live from the bar called Grafton Arms Tavern. It is on the Kasozi Road in Fort Portal. The place is called Kasozi. The Pool Association of Uganda, together with the National Council of Sports, decided that we move out of Kampala and we put the action a little bit farther than the usual. And now, not only did we move out of Kampala, we also, of course, made sure this tournament is a 4-in-1. It's a lovely piece of skill by Kasozi Joseph. Look at that. Knocks the yellow in. Gets clear path of the black. Simon's got to regret why he played around with the previous game. Now, it would have been 3-2. Simon in contra. But now, Kasozi porting this black will actually make it 3-2. Make it 3-2 for Kasozi to actually lead here. Remember, it's rest to 4, so Kasozi needs 1, Simon needs 2. And I'm sure the time will not let Simon finish. I'm not so sure how much time is remaining, but I'm sure it's less than 9 minutes. Simon Lubulwa, the computer breaks. Did he get one in? Oh, it's a dry break. Kasozi now with another advantage. Kasozi is leading 3-2. But we have not yet experienced the kind of shots that we are thinking we were going to see here. Because I think when the players realize it's only 4 games to play for and there's very limited time, they have all resorted to play negative and also play a little bit of care. But Cesar Jandiga is the only player who is so replicating the same game that we know all throughout his game earlier on against Monjuzi Patrick. It's now Kasozi Joseph. Now Kasozi Joseph on the Reds, needing only 1 game to advance into the quarters. PAU Grand Open. PAU Grand Open live at Grafton Arms Tavern, home of one of the teams, of course, in the Toro League. And recently, of course, last year as we were concluding the year, they are also concluding their league. But it's good that in the regions as well, pool is taking place on President, where we are having some of the players who live in different parts of Uganda also participate in their own league kind of like setup and make sure they also get to enjoy the good, the bad, and the ugly of this game. Well, earlier on, Simon took a very lovely shot. Very good with the combination shots because he actually took a combination shot in the upper left corner. And now it is still Simon Lubulwa on the yellows. It's a possible run here. Let me give you an angle to see if you can be able to put one ball after the other, because this one here, that's the one I was not very sure about. He actually could see it very well. And now he has one up and one down. Starts with up. Carefully potted. This is good. Good target, good planning. This is what he should have done. And no more shot like that in the game that he lost. I really feel bad for him. But the mistake was his. So let's see if he's going to redeem himself in this very, very short. He does. And look at what he has now. He needs to be very precise on this target. Fails. Fails. But not so bad. He actually gets the ball set. Kasozi can see clearly, of course, his center, like you're seeing in this very, very picture. When I give you the angle here, is also what I actually seek when I'm closing in. So Kasozi can actually pot and finish these balls. Now he has a chance to take that one in the opposite corner. If he does, there is only one option I'm seeing here, and that could be for a possible double in center or a possible double on the left. Kasozi taking his time. He knows there is no time, but he also knows that if he loses this game and they take him, of course, 3-3, the chances of this guy is playing penalties maybe later, or I don't know. Sharpshooter took the ball in a double effect. Gets a direct black. Actually, these guys are not playing rest to fall. Simon Lubulwa can't believe what has just happened. All stand, looking at the table. He can't believe there's one bad luck, bad charm game where he lost the game he should have won. And when he did that, Kasozi has been very unforgiving and has banged him 2 straight. It was 1-1, went to 1-2, and then 1-3. You can't imagine what's going on. It's now 1-4. Kasozi had taken a timeout, and that was illegally taken. By the way, I've been informed, but there is no timeout in all of these games. In this very tournament, there is no timeout. And also the other correction is they are not playing rest of 4. They are already on the quarterfinal. That game between Simon Lubulwa and Kasozi Joseph is on the quarterfinals. So they are not playing rest of 4, but rest to 5. And currently as it's standing, Kasozi is leading 4-1. There was a complaint about time because he went into timeout, which was illegally given to himself. He gave it to himself, no one actually gave him. And so that time is going to be reimbursed. Otherwise, the score is still standing at 4-1. And Kasozi is the one in charge. I feel very, very concerned about Simon because you see, these things continue happening with him. I've seen, him lead and squander a lead, but then I also see how he has been very impressive sometimes, where he can be led like 5-0 and then he comes from down and equalizes. So if he has time, he's one of the players I know who's capable of making a comeback anytime. It's not done yet. However, he squandered a chance by himself, and we all remember where it was. Time and the number of games can be very unforgiving here, and that's the bitter truth that Simon Lubulwa will have to face. But with the ladies, the other game that's going on, of course, live on Facebook, live on YouTube on the PAU channel, is the game between Nachimuli Jovia and Rukia Naiga. Rukia Naiga in cruise control, just having a good time. She's just sailing all the way through. And she's leading 3-0. And that's also, of course, a quarter-final clash. Whoever goes through there in the ladies category will be going straight to the semi-finals. Lubulwa Simon technically plays his red, leaves it on the jaws. And now Kasozi Joseph gives him even a bigger advantage. Extends his red ball just near his, and to take a bit of partial occupancy on the right corner. Simon takes an off ball up. This shot right here from my angle, I see as if Simon can attempt to pot it, he could end up opening the ball that is in a chains there under the black. There's a possibility of him doing that. Well, let's see how he's thinking. Maybe not the way I was caught. Oh, opens it up a little bit. Opens it up a little bit. At least it's no longer touching. And now, what are the options remaining? Let's see. He will. Oh God. Everything is giving himself is a little bit. It's a big task. Simon opts for a double. Oh, this game, I think Simon now knows it. He can hear it. He can see it. The game is actually getting out of his hands every other second. Because if at the time remaining is not enough, Simon is down 3 games. You can imagine. Kasozi leading 4-1. It means Simon will have to struggle. And you can't believe, even when Kasozi has an advantage of that nature, he's continuing to snooker. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if that is not the shot of the tournament, tell me what it is. If that was not the shot of the tournament, tell me what it is. Simon Lubulwa pulls another magical shot back, and this one was for the books. This one was for the Shaolin Temple. That was beautifully executed, immaculate, exquisite. Oh my God. Spectacular. Well, he gets the crowd back, of course, and he was simply losing the noise. Now bringing one back, everyone is now interested and in support. But the only concern I have right now for Simon is the time. Can Simon play against the time and get a couple of games back before it elapses? I don't know. I'm not so sure. But as it stands, Kasozi Joseph is leading 4-2. The ladies, Naiga Rukia Unforgiving. On top form, she knows Anka is out. But the possibility of Naiga Rukia versing her sister, that's in the semi-finals, are getting even more and more visible. Actually, that's what it's going to be. If Naiga Rukia goes on to the next round here, if she wins here, she will be definitely versing her sister in the names of Rashida Mutesi. And that will be a semi-final. Lubulwa Simon waiting patiently here for his chance. The computer against the sharpshooter. Well, with the way I'm seeing things here, it looks like there is a concern about that time that Kasozi wasted, and I think maybe the umpire has finally found a solution for it. But as it stands, computer is trailing 2-4 behind. Kasozi seed number 1 of Uganda. Kasozi is the defending champion of the Paul King and Queen that happened last year in Jinja. Kasozi was also a finalist. Kasozi was also the finalist on this very tournament last year. That's the Grand Open, which was at Kas Bar and Lounge in Kansanga. And the game that the one that just ended, which is called the Grand Finale or the End of Year Championship. Again, that one also happened in Kansanga. He has been playing well actually the whole of this 2024 and 2025, which is the year we are in now. This is the tournament that is officially kicking off every other event. Kasozi looking for 1, Simon looking for 3. So rest to 5, and these are the quarterfinals. As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, Kasozi is one black shy of victory here to advance to the next level. These are already quarterfinals, so you can imagine if he wins here, he should be booking his place. First book for the semi-finals. Well, the last end of year, Kasozi was not even on the finals because that final was played by Kelvin Ikando of Zambia and Mosidam Kayanja Ibra. A chance has been given to Lubulwa Simon here, and the crowd goes really loud in support of Simon Lubulwa, telling him you have a chance now, please sir, come on. Well, Simon is capable of doing anything. Yeah, I'm very sure he can turn this score around, but he will need to begin with this hard game. Simon hides behind the yellows. Kasozi has a bit of a task here. The advantage with Simon now, if he's given 2 shots, he's able to finish, because the only bad ball he has is almost the one that's near the cushion. All the other balls are in space. But I doubt if Kasozi will give him 2 shots. Just displaces the black, and Simon now has another shot at maybe playing another technical shot and releasing his ball from the cushion. Kasozi is going to play for us another angle. However, the angles that he has to play is not very, very difficult. The only problem is, can he play it and hide the white, which he actually tried to do and failed. And now Simon Lubulwa with an opportunity. He has a clear path to run all these balls one by one. He will have to begin with center. Can you believe it? Simon has potted the hardest balls in life and failed the simplest. Kasozi, I think, is also just sighing in relief, saying, oh my God, finally the guy has given me the chance, and now Kasozi can slice that ball down and take, of course, position in the semi-final. Kasozi, 1 black away to the semi-finals. He does, wins. These guys used to be best friends. They're now teammates. In the name of the game, he gives them a fist pump, and that's it. Simon Lubulwa is out of this tournament. Kasozi progresses to the semifinals. Congratulations to him. And of course, the drama continues right here in Fort Portal. DMS is my name. More commentaries coming your way. Peter Chobe. And of course, we are going to be going into the next